Thank you for joining us here on ABC 10. I'm Austin Castro. Let's begin with a check of your weekend weather now with meteorologist Brendan Minchef.
Good Saturday morning. It was a very cold end to the traditional work week. Of course, with Thanksgiving, it's a long holiday. We're in day 3 now of this long holiday weekend. But Friday afternoon only made it to 47 in Sacramento. So that's the coldest day of the year for Sacramento. Same story out in Vacaville at 46. And this comes on the heels of Thanksgiving, which was the coldest day of the year for most of the valley. And Stockton at 51 yesterday actually tied Thanksgiving at 51 degrees, which is the coldest day of the year for Stockton. So looking at Sacramento specifically, the month started off fairly warm, several above normal days, but then we had some storms coming through in the middle of the month and towards the end of the month. This week specifically, we've just been underneath that fog the whole time with hardly anything in the way of sunshine, especially for Thanksgiving and for Friday. And that's why we only made it into those upper 40s in Sacramento. Today's not going to be a whole lot different. Still some fog through the late morning hours, some low clouds through most of the daytime, temperatures upper 40s and low 50s. I'm hoping for just a little bit of clearing through the afternoon, but I'm not expecting much today. Slightly different story possibly for tomorrow. So once again, chilly and mostly gray. Today, 52 in Sacramento, 52 Stockton, 52 in Modesto. If we really don't get any clearing and it's just all gray skies, we'll likely be in those upper 40s once again. In the foothills, though, upper 50s to almost 60 degrees. So as we look at future visibility, that fog coming back for Sunday morning, maybe not quite as widespread as it has been, but still going to see some fog, less fog on Monday morning, and that's going to be because of some northerly winds that are developing. So we're not really going to see those north winds today or wind at all, which is why I'm just kind of hoping for a little clearing, but not expecting much. On Sunday, though, that story is going to be a little bit different because not really in the morning, but as we get into the afternoon, we start to see some northerly winds in the Sacramento Valley. That's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But as we head into the overnight hours, Sunday into Monday, now we've got much stronger northerly winds, including in Sacramento, down through Elk Grove, even Stockton, Tracy. We're going to see winds of 15 miles per hour. That's going to help to keep that fog from forming and should push a lot of those low clouds out of here as well. So again, today, not expecting much in terms of clearing, hoping for a little, but not expecting much. Sunday afternoon could be a different story, especially if those northerly winds get going a little before sunset. Then we could get just a bit of sunshine, especially in the Sacramento Valley with those winds developing. And that's because of this system dropping into the Great Basin. That's going to create a northerly flow across northern California starting late Sunday and continuing into Monday. Again, clearing us out from that fog and those low clouds. Above the low clouds, though, temperatures close to 60 degrees this weekend in the foothills. Close to 50 today in the high country, then cooler a little bit Sunday and Monday as that system approaches. It is going to bring cooler temperatures to Tahoe. We'll be looking at temps in those mid-40s. As we stay here in the valley, though, low 50s through the weekend. Again, better chances of clearing as we head into Sunday and especially Monday. But even as we move into December starts on Monday, temperatures really not going anywhere. We're going to stay in the 50s to low 60s.
Thank you, Brendan. Well, holiday shopping is in full swing across the country and here at home. Crowds packing in for those Black Friday deals, but so are the thieves. Roseville police say a woman broke into stores and got away with tens of thousands of dollars worth in merchandise before being arrested. ABC 10's Garj Paul Sanga shows us how law enforcement is responding and how shoppers are feeling this holiday season.
Crowds filling in, bags filling up, and the holiday shopping rush is on. A go-to place for these shoppers, the Roseville Galleria.
I like the rush of coming out and going to the stores and stuff, and I decided to come out to the Black Friday shopping for the deals.
While some shoppers found deals, others are still waiting. Shoppers say the in-person experience still wins.
I thought, people were going to kind of wait and not do as much Black Friday shopping, but the people are here.
Whether it is a tradition or to find deals, the Galleria said Black Friday shopping went smoothly, but 2 miles away on Douglas Boulevard, Roseville police say a Thursday night break-in was no holiday surprise. Officers arrested 34-year-old Christina Bemis, accused of smashing a window at a TJ Maxx and stealing nearly $23,000 in clothing and jewelry. It also said Bemis also broke into Famous Footwear and stole a $99 pair of shoes before she was detained at the scene. All of this comes as Placer County boosted enforcement this holiday season, saying thieves look for busy days like these. Officials say every agency in the county are working together using forensic and technology to track down organized retail crime and hold people accountable so shoppers deal with one less stress this holiday season.
But nothing takes the place of shopping at the mall. Come on, the mall, you get to see all the people, the lights, the Christmas tree. You can't do that online.
And officials continues to stress that thieves will not be allowed to disrupt holiday shopping. Reporting in Roseville, Garch Paul Sunga, ABC 10.
And this Black Friday was certainly one to remember. According to the National Retail Federation, a record 186 million people are expected to shop over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Black Friday expected to be the most popular day. And for many families, Black Friday is also a holiday tradition. We spoke with people who stood in line early Friday morning to get some of those deals.
It wasn't, I mean, we were at the front of the line, so it wasn't long for us.
Okay.
But we had to start waiting early.
One guy got here at 4:30.
I've been Black Friday shopping since I could walk with my grandma, and it's something we do every year. And so now I'm here with my girls and their friend and my mom, and we're doing it again.
I just like the atmosphere. Everybody's in a good mood, and they're out here because they want to be, and it feels like Christmas now.
Now, according to Adobe Analytics, consumers spent $8.6 billion online on Black Friday. That's a 9.4% increase over last year. Retailers are also expected to hire up to 365,000 seasonal workers nationwide to help keep up with that demand. Today, we are learning more about the member of the National Guard killed after being shot in an ambush attack near the White House earlier this week. The suspect is facing a first-degree murder charge. Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom from West Virginia was just 20 years old. Meanwhile, 24-year-old Air Force Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf, who was also shot, remains in critical condition. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more from Los Angeles.
Police in Washington, D.C., alongside National Guard troops in wake of the deadly shooting that killed a National Guardsman and critically injured another, urging residents to be vigilant. On Thursday, in a Thanksgiving call with service members, President Trump delivering the news of Sarah Beckstrom's passing. She was just 20 years old.
Highly respected, young, magnificent person. Started service in June of 2023. Outstanding in every way. She's just passed away. She's no longer with us. She's looking down at us right now.
A sidewalk memorial growing with flowers and flags. The U.S. attorney upgrading the suspect's charges to first-degree murder.
This is a murder one, period, end of the story.
The suspect, identified as Ramanullah Lakanawal, an Afghan national who was brought to the U.S. in 2021 with a special immigrant visa and then granted asylum this past April under the Trump administration. The CIA said he worked with the U.S. government in Afghanistan during the war there and was highly trained.
They're very heavily screened, as you would imagine, both psychologically, mentally, physically, and they're continuously vetted throughout their time working with the U.S. government. Then there's the additional screening when it comes to special immigrant visas. In order to get that, they go through many steps, many interviews, and, of course, background investigations.
In response to the shooting, the Trump administration says it's halting all asylum decisions. The State Department has also paused issuing visas for people traveling on Afghan passports. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Good morning, beautiful people. I am Kevin John. Hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving, and if you have an appetite for high school football, you're going to love the next 8 minutes. Our Sac Joaquin Section Championships taking over Hughes Stadium over the weekend. And in life, three things are certain: death, taxes, and the Folsom Bulldogs meeting up with the Oak Ridge Trojans in the Division I section title game. Let's head out to Hughes Stadium, where for the fourth year in a row, Folsom and Oak Ridge clash for the section title in D1. And last year, things went about as bad for the Trojans as it gets, getting shut out by the Bulldogs 41-0. And Friday night's game didn't get off to a much better start for them on the opening drive. Ryder Lyons drops a dime to senior receiver Isaiah Williams, who goes full extension. That gave the Bulldogs an early 7-0 lead, but Oak Ridge let it known they refused to be shut out this year on their first drive. They marched down the field where Tyler Enduar punches it in for 6. All right, let's head to the second quarter now. And the Bulldogs are going to get back on top with Ryder Lyons doing what Ryder Lyons does best, scoring touchdowns. He keeps it himself, calling his own number. That's always a good decision. Now, all season long, Oak Ridge has relied on their defense to win games, and here it's coming up big. Ashley Andrade comes flying in to pick off Ryder's pass, keeping the Trojans in the game and giving their offense a chance to close the gap. All right, let's head to the fourth quarter now. Oak Ridge down 2 scores. Quarterback Luke Tabor keeping this play alive with his feet. Look at this. He's bouncing around, sees a receiver, throws it, and Junior Jack Grunrud bringing home the bacon there. Now, it's a 21-14 game with less than 5 minutes to go, but to be as successful as Folsom is, you have to be masters at running out the clock, which is what they did, denying Oak Ridge a chance to get the ball back. And ladies and gentlemen, for the 5th year in a row, the Folsom Bulldogs are the Division I section champs. Let's hear from Ryder Lyons after the game.
I think we can do a lot. We're very versatile. Our offensive line has been playing better every week. We're running the ball better. But yeah, just so proud of this team, community, Folsom. Just grateful to be here. Exciting, another week of football. Just grateful.
All right, now to our Division III section title game. Both Wood Creek and Oakdale brought their dynamic offenses with them to Hughes Stadium. And even in the cold on Black Friday, those offenses were balling. On the opening drive, Wood Creek going deep. And like a good neighbor, Ethan Kim is there for the touchdown. That was from Josiah Melendez. Nice pass. But the Mustangs would clap back immediately. On the ensuing kickoff, Peyton Wallace nearly takes us the distance before he is pushed out of bounds, giving the Mustangs excellent field position, and they take advantage. Wes Buford, one of the best running backs in the section. If you don't know, now you know. This play was on 4th and go, too. All right, but it's Wood Creek's turn now. Trace Murchison takes the handoff. He's more elusive than 5-year-olds running from vegetables at the Thanksgiving table. He gets in for the touchdown. Wood Creek would take the lead back, but Oakdale would have something to say about that. Well, Chase Lopez would have something to say about it. He's going to break off for a huge run right here. Almost takes this to the house. He's brought down inside the 5-yard line. So Oakdale goes back to their specialist, Buford, who punches it in for his second of 3 touchdowns in the first half, putting him at 40 rushing touchdowns on the season. This game, probably a defensive coordinator's nightmare, but it was a classic. In the end, the Wood Creek Timberwolves offense just a bit better. They win the Division III section title 58-52. Congrats to Wood Creek head coach Kyle Stowers for securing the banner in his inaugural year as head coach. Josiah Melendez, how you feeling, brother?
This is school history, though. It's an amazing feeling to be out here right now. People were sleeping on us in the beginning of the year, and we beat Jesuit, and people were still sleeping on us. But, I mean, we just trusted ourselves, and we knew what we had as a team, and we were able to keep going, and we were able to progress all the way out here to the section championship and win.
If you haven't learned anything else from this sportscast, do not sleep on the Wood Creek Timberwolves. All right, we're going to keep this party going with our ABC10 game of the week. Now, there's a common sports adage that goes, it's hard to beat a good team twice. And that especially rings true when that good team is the Sutter Huskies. Division V section title game, the top-seeded Casa Roble Rams out of Orangeville, taking on the number 3 seed, the Sutter Huskies. The last time these two teams met was on Halloween, and Casa came away with the victory. So best believe Sutter has not forgotten about that. And on their first drive of the game, Sutter made sure to send a message. Huskies in the red zone here. Braden Scritchfield rolls out and hits Max Bringle for the first touchdown of the game. Just like that, it's 7-0 Sutter. But Casa Roble, they would clap back immediately. They would march right down the field on their first drive, and Aiden Lopez throws a beautiful back shoulder pass to Jared Alexander for the touchdown. We're tied at 7 to the second quarter now. Sutter back on the attack, and I'm not quite sure what Max Bringo had for his Thanksgiving meal, but he may want to eat that before every game. Save some leftovers for him, too. Mad Max had 5 total touchdowns in this game. Hope you had him on your fantasy team. Now, later in the second quarter, how about that Husky defense, y'all? Aiden Lopez back to pass, but Troy Bowens, he stuffs him like turkey on Thanksgiving. Thank you, Brendan Minchef, for that. He gets in for the sack. Sutter led 21-7 at halftime. To the fourth quarter now. Sutter up by a touchdown, looking to add to it. Just call on Losi Asiata. He's more dependable than Allstate. The Huskies go on to win this one the Huskies would go up 35-20. But Casa, they ain't going down like no punks. Look at this play right here by the Rams. Aiden Lopez spinning around, juking defenders, throws it downfield. Look at the catch right here by Kimani Burks. Hot diddly dee. Someone got mossed. That drive would lead to a touchdown for the Rams. It was too little, too late. Sutter avenges their loss from Halloween, defeating Casa 42-27. And ladies and gentlemen, the Sutter Huskies are your Division 5 section champs. Here is a very happy and cold Coach Reynolds.
First one, baby! First one! I love it! It's awesome! Our boys had a chip on their shoulders since that loss to Casa, week 10, and I'm telling you, they handled their business. Oh, the support is tremendous. Our community is awesome. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. Small town football at its finest.
How are you going to celebrate this?
Oh, I'm going to sleep a little bit. I haven't slept much in the last 3 weeks, and then we're going to find out Sunday who we're playing next.
It feels great, man. I couldn't do anything without God. You know, he believed in us from the start. We believed in him, and I'm so thankful for my team, my friends. You know, I couldn't do it without them. Yeah, we're pumped, man. It's the first time we've won a section championship in this section, so I know it means a lot to him, it means a lot to us.
What are you guys going to do to celebrate this?
Well, we're all under the age of 21, so none of that, but, you know, we're going to have a good time and just hang out and have fun.
You know, I heard they went out to celebrate with root beer floats last night, so. All right, now to some NBA action. The Sacramento Kings on the road facing the Utah Jazz in NBA Cup play. Utah entered this game riding a 4-game losing streak. And, spoiler alert, it would not get to 5. Why? Because Lauri Markkanen and Keontae George were feeling themselves. Markkanen had 28 points. George dropped a team-high 31. Zach LaVine, meanwhile, getting down with the dunk. LaVine had a game-high 34 points. But the Kings were pretty much playing catch-up the rest of the way. Russell Westbrook dropped a triple-double, but it would come in a losing effort. The Jazz defeat the Kings 128-119. Kings fall to 5-15 on the season and 0-4 in NBA Cup play. Also, I would be remiss if I did not give a shout out to our Division 7 high school football section champion, Calaveras. They defeated Linden yesterday, so congratulations to them on the Blue Banner. Now remember, we have 3 more teams playing today at Hughes Stadium. We will have those highlights and results later on tonight, right here on ABC 10. All right, guys, that's all that I got. You all have yourselves a beautiful Saturday.
Thank you so much, Kevin, and thank you to you for joining us right here on ABC 10. I'm Austin Castro, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend.